Hello everyone, welcome to GT Realm. I'm GT Realm, and on today's video we're going to be building this ultimate streaming PC for GT Realm Racing. Let's get with it. I'd like to take this small opportunity in this video to thank everybody who's contributed towards the channel in some way, whether it be stars, personal contributions, and specifically the GoFundMe page which we set up for the PC build. The people in that particular GoFundMe were Brian, Mario and Mark. Mark specifically in that he was the major contributor towards the PC build itself and us bringing it forward to be built, as he contributed a very large sum of money for us to do so. And in return we've attached him as the channel sponsor. So links to his particular company is in the description below. As you can see in the top corner here, this is his logo. Go and show him some love, spread the word, and yeah, I just wanted to take this opportunity to make a massive thank you to everybody. I'd also like to give a massive thank you to the GT Realm family, which is everybody that comes on the stream, in the chat and races with us live. Massive thank you to you lot. Without you, this channel wouldn't be the same. It would just be like every other dumbass streaming channel. The banter is amazing, the racing's really good, and we're a fun bunch. Basically that's it. If you've never been on to see our live streams, I suggest you do so. Smash the subscribe button, get involved, and smash the notification bell so you don't miss any. We basically stream every night more or less at the moment with GT7, and yeah, we just have a laugh. It's like going out for a night out but with racing sims. That's basically it. So I'd just like to obviously give you a shout out. So I would also like to thank the Facebook supporters who pay a monthly subscription for the channel. It is much appreciated. Obviously your names get put up in the titles, the opening titles of the actual live streams. So if you're interested in doing any of that, you get a free sticker, which you can stick on your car, GT Realm sticker. And obviously you get your name up on lights, which is always a plus. But yeah, all that money gets ploughed back into the channel. So any contributions, any stars, anything like that, it all gets put back in. So that's why we're doing it. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. We're just going to try and sustain me to do it daily. And if we need any equipment or anything like that, like we have done with the PC, for instance, all the money that we get obviously gets ploughed into the actual business. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you're all knowing that you're very much appreciated and that I love you all. Okay, so where do we start? Well, this is the old machine that has sadly failed us badly now. She has run out of steam after years of being overclocked and being abused to its fullest extent. So I think it's about time we upgraded her. And we're going to be using some bits from this build, obviously. Only the power supply and the hard drives. That's basically going to be all that's getting used out of this machine. That's all we're left to do. And that's about it. So I'll just give you a little close look at what this looks like on the inside. So let's have a little look at that, and you can see how bad the cable management is, because when I built this, cable management really wasn't a thing. But now it is, so the new machine will look at least 1,000 times more tidy than this one. But as you can see, there is wires everywhere. Okay, so first things we're going to be doing, we need the power supply out of this. So we're going to be taking the power supply out and all of its relevant cables. We're going to use the GPU as well, which is a 1660 Ti. All three SSD hard drives. You may use a fan, but I'll clean it up obviously. We have a USB 3, which we can use. I don't think we need them for the new case. We're also going to be using our Elgato, reusing that one. Our Elgato capture card, which is the 4K60 Pro. And that's basically all we're going to be using from this particular machine, other than the actual power themselves. Obviously we will look at upgrading the graphics card at a later date, maybe to a 3080 or something. But I'm not sure it's going to be needed yet, because of the streaming that we do is from a console, and the decoders in these particular NVIDIA cards are all the same no matter what. From the 1660 Ti has got the same new NVENC encoders as all the new stuff, so might not need it, to be honest. It would just be for, I think, bragging rights to say, I've got a 3080. Oh. The power supply that we've got, which is this Corsair's HX850, is more than capable of delivering all power that we need, even if we do get a 3080, which is pleasing. Obviously it's going to need a bit of grunt to run the processor that we're going to be using, which is a Ryzen 9 3950X. I'm going to use some of these, maybe. I can get them off the motherboard. This machine had 16 gigs of RAM, nothing specifically special, just some Kingston stuff. And that's it for that particular model. So this is now empty of everything that we want out of it. So let's put her aside. Let's put her broken ass aside. And now we can start to build the new one. Okay, so this is the motherboard we've gone for. We've gone for the Asus ROG STRIX X570E Gaming Wi-Fi 2. It's a very highly recommended board. Asus being super sexy with their presentations, as always. And this is the monster itself. Let's see if we get what we get else in the box. Let's have a look-see. We get a lovely manual. Oh, I need to put that on my key fob. And we've got what looks like a M.2 drive lock. They're handy. Very nice. Got the manual. Well, I don't know what they're playing at with this shit, but never mind. What's underneath? Woo! Excellent. We have set that aside. Set of cables in black. We have, not too sure what that is, like some sort of rubber square thing, not too sure, for single use. Oh, M.2. Stick this pad onto the existing M.2 pad. Okay, we'll find that out later. This is a, oh, I think it's a temperature. We'll have to read up on the manual, see what that is. Cable ties. We're not experts at building these things, so bear with me if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And here is this lovely, sexy thing. Look at it. Gorgeous. So with that said, let's move all this shit out of the way. We'll get the processor out and install the CPU. Okay guys, CPU time. We have the Ryzen AMD Ryzen 9 5950X, which is a 16 core 32 thread processor. So the test results from the R20 Cinebench will be mind boggling. compared to what we've taken with the old PC to see what the comparisons will actually be. Can't really go wrong with these. There's an arrow on the board there. There's an arrow on the actual CPU, which we shall see in just a second. Got a nice little sticker there. So we have, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little arrow there. And there's an arrow on the actual board. So open up. It should just slot in nicely with its own accord. Pin her down. That's that installed. I'll figure out somewhere nice to put that sticker because it's a nice sticker that. Next we'll install the RAM that we've got. What RAM did we go for, I hear you ask? We went for the Corsair DDR4 32 gigs packs. We've got two of them. Two 16 gigs each at 3600 megahertz. These are RGB, obviously, because, you know, RGB is the life, isn't it? And that's what we're all about. We're going full RGB on this one. Let's see what we got. Them sexy little numbers. We got the the Pro SL versions because the height of the sticks themselves on the SL versions are a lot smaller. So height restrictions on the board and stuff will be fine. We've got plenty of room now. Let's get them both open. Let us know in the comments what you think of the build so far. Always good to hear your opinions. Tell us what you've got yourself. What builds you've got. Here we go. So, now building a PC, ladies and gentlemen, is a piece of piss. It's not rocket science. And trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. These only fit one way. So you can't really go wrong. Now we've got 4, so we're going to fill up all the RAM slots with this particular number. Again. Dead easy. A nice satisfying click when it goes in. Obviously we can probably load up 128 gigs of RAM, but that just sounds like a bit of overkill. Although I am going to be using this PC not just for streaming, it's also doing my video editing and more importantly it does my music production. So RAM is essential for me. 64 gigs is going to be more than enough for me for the music stuff and for the videos that I'll be doing. This is to do the Wi-Fi. I'll show you, but I'm never going to be using it because I want to hardwire the whole thing. I don't want to. I don't want to use the actual Wi-Fi itself, although the Wi-Fi is super quick. This is the little aerial you get with it. I'll show you though, just in case you're interested and you want to use it yourself. So it's a sexy little number, to be fair. So, it's an aerial. There you go. M.2s. So, we've bought one. 1 terabyte. From Crucial, it's a P5 Plus. Probably will get another 2 terabyte drive to stick in the second slot because there's 2 on this board. But we're going to see how the SSD drives that I've got work for now and see what the room situation is. They're only daily, these things, they're not very big. They always look bigger on the pictures if you notice. Anyway, let's take the heat sink off. And this comes with the actual lockers, which is fantastic news. No small screws needed, even though it does come with one. There's a little screw in there, as you can see. Now, something that you probably don't know is that the sticker that's on the top of these SSDs, leave them on because they're part of the heat spreader for the actual drive itself. Basically just push in, push down, lock in place, bang tidy. Now on the back of these, you do get thermal paste sponge thing to dissipate the heat onto the heat spreader. Again, just pull it off, place onto the drive. Make sure everything's in place. Very, very sticky stuff, as it should be. Don't over tighten, but you know, make sure it's nipped up. There we go, nipped on, that's in there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our case that we'll be using is the Corsair icue 500X RGB. So clearly it's got RGB, which means clearly it's the best, isn't it? If it's got RGB, it's the best. End of. No need to go any further with the build. It's all you need to know. Goodbye. But no, seriously, let's get busy with this. No idea how to undo it, so let's spin around because it comes with some gubbins. Corsair, well known for their well-built cases, and this is no exception. There is oh, I see. There's plenty of top quality building going on here when it comes to Corsair. It falls off. We've got some tape here for transport. Keep everything in its place. As we open the drawer, so this is what we get. This is going to be a lot of nice, really nice cable ties and cable tidying for this machine. Can't wait. Let's flip it onto her back. Load the motherboard and go from there. Okay, so as you can see, board just fits straight in. That's it, that's all the screws in for the actual board itself. That's that. Next. Okay guys, so the next thing we've got is the Kraken Z73 Rgb. Again, RGB, it's gotta be fucking cool. So this is for the CPU cooling. We're on water cool block, which is basically what we're doing. To keep the temperature all nice and low, because obviously we're not going to be overclocking this system at all, because I don't think we need to. There's enough cores and threads in there to last us at least 10 years. But we went obviously for a white version, because it's a white build with RGBs. So we get 3 fans, cabling, the actual mounts for the pump itself with some standoffs. There's obviously 2 different types because you can have this for Intel or AMD. Works for both. And here we have the radiator. Now the funky thing with this particular cooler is that it has an LCD screen readout, which is just super cool, as you could imagine. And we can put GIFs on there if we want to, so obviously I'm going to be sticking the GT Realm logo on there, which will look just sick as hell. And obviously I'll show you that when the build's finished and we go for the money shots afterwards, when the build's completely done. This thing comes with its own thermal paste, so when you're first putting it, you don't need any, just use what you want unless you want to go posh and do what you want to do with it really. So the main things with these is to try and figure out the orientation of what you want in the cage, in the actual box. Now we want to actually mount it on the top of the box. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. So we're going to install the fans in a particular orientation also, which will draw air in out from the actual inside of the case itself through the radiator and out the top of the actual system. Seems to be what most people are doing with it, and the results are really good. So plus we can maximize then the RGB of the actual fans themselves. Yeah. But also when we're doing it, we need to make sure. So it's basically going to be mounted like this, upside down. Pump down, up like that. With the pump on the CPU, banked down. So the fans, and that's basically how it's going to go. Fans are going on top. And that's basically where we're at. So we're going to set them out. We want all the wires to be out the back. So obviously if it's going to go, we need to up it like that. Which means if we're upping it like that, then all the wiring needs to be at the back. Like so. And there's a nice little rubber pad on these to reduce vibration. Attention to detail there, very much so. Obviously we want them at the back, but we also want the RGBs pointing outwards, Cliff, because that would be helpful, it being RGB and all. So obviously the RGBs are going to be pointing into the case, down past the CPU. So that's what we're wanting. Right, these are the fan headers. Now then, the next thing we need to do is that they come with these. 1, 2, that's the one. We've got 2 for 3. That's the one. Basically how this works is, it links the fans up. So, can't go wrong with this because they only fit one way. So we've got an in, it says in on it, in on there. Out, goes to out. On here. These are a little bit fiddly. That's it, so in again. Out to out. These are fiddly, but necessary. There we go. Right. That's basically that set up now. And then all of these are for your actual headers, which we can hook up to the main board. So let's get the location sorted and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so according to the manual, it comes preloaded with the Intel bracket, which we have to change for the AMD because that's what we've got. We've got an AMD Ryzen, so that one needs to go on. And then these risers need to go to the actual board itself. And then the thumb screws to attach the pump to the actual CPU. So let's get busy with that. Okay, so what we've got so far, we've just installed, we've taken off the holders for the Intel version. Put them aside. Sorry, not that, it wasn't the Intel version, sorry, it's for the fan, it's for a normal fan cooler. And because it's a water pump, it has to be slightly different. So they give you these little risers. So take the old ones off, put the risers in. This is the way they go around. This is for the AMD version. And that's basically it. We've swapped the plate to the AMD one. And now we're ready to install the pump up at the top and get our placement bob on.